Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. How's it going? Awesome. So, who's having a good time at the restaurant show? Yeah, a lot of cool stuff here. Who saw other speakers? Some really cool stuff here, right? I caught a couple speakers, caught 15, 20 minutes of other people, and really some amazing information that's being presented here. So really glad everybody's taking advantage of this, and I'm glad I'm here. I haven't been speaking for quite some time, and last time I spoke was with the Green Restaurant Association. My first passion is organic, green, farm to table, food activism. So I spoke several years ago about having a green restaurant and the impact on that. And I'm here today to talk about business, about marketing. Let's see, who here is owner, a manager, in charge of marketing? Who plays the role of marketing?
If you own your own business,
you own your own business. Who owns your own business? Awesome. So you're marketing. You're marketers. All right. All right. So you have a postcard in front of you. I'm hosting an after party. It's right up the block here. It's 2 avenues over, a couple blocks up. Scan that code with your iPhone. Just have to open your camera, and it grabs a link, and you click Get Started. On an Android, you have to download a QR code reader. Click it. At 5 o'clock, we will send you the secret location. You won't get it now. 5 o'clock, you get the secret location. I'll also be giving away a GoPro Hero 7 over there. All right, that's up for grabs tonight. We're putting up some small bites. It's at a great place that has a nice wine list. It's at a really awesome restaurant right around the corner. So, let's get started. So, we're going to talk about marketing. When you're an owner, you have to be a marketing maniac. And I learned that years ago. I mean, nobody's going to tell your story better than you. You're the one who has the why. You're the one who has the passion. You're the one behind the mission. And if you're not doing it, you can't expect other people to do it for you, is basically the bottom line on that. So I've been a restaurant owner since 2003. I still own a restaurant. I do what you do every single day. It's part of my passion. I've been in the restaurant business, hotel business since 1998. So been in the restaurant industry a while. I'm a Forbes Business Council contributor. I write business articles for Forbes. Oops. Like I said, I'm a marketing maniac. I market every single day. I treat my business. I have a couple different businesses. I do a lot of coaching. I coach other restaurateurs. We do consulting. We do marketing. We do all kinds of things for restaurants. But every day when I come and sit at my desk in my office, the first thing in my mind is, how am I going to market myself today? Not what do I have to do, how do I market myself? I've written 3 business books, and we'll talk about the one because I'm giving the one away for free today. And I'm a restaurant success coach. Independence, here you go. 96.2 of you want more time or more money. I know the feeling. You want more time or more money. It's pretty much across the board, right? We're all in the same boat. And we're all left feeling like this a lot of times. I feel like this. Like I said, I'm in the business with you, and I feel like that sometimes. We're going to talk about getting more time and more money. So, that's a gnat. They have very short attention spans. Slightly shorter than ours as humans. Slightly. We're gaining ground on that gnat, though. At lightning speed, we're gaining ground. Okay? 3 to 7 seconds. We all know what first impressions are, right? We know how valuable first impression is. But how long does a first impression last? How long do you have somebody's attention? If you're not making an impression, they're gone in 7 seconds. In person, it's 1/10 of a second. You can tell if you like somebody. As soon as you walk in a room, you say, oh, that energy's off. You sit at a bar and that bartender, you're like, oh, that bartender's not for me. Where else am I sitting, right? So, today I'm going to talk about your biggest digital platform and how to convert those views into revenue. We're going to talk about tricking the brain today. This is some psychology here about marketing. So your biggest digital platform. What's our biggest digital platform? Facebook's big, right? Facebook's huge. Instagram, right? There's a lot of big digital platforms. Today I'm going to specifically talk about your website, which is the oldest digital platform out there. Is your website. Who doesn't have a website? You don't have a website. Who else doesn't have a website? Thank you for sharing. I talk to a lot of restaurateurs all the time, and I'm shocked when people don't have a website. And they're like, what do I need a website for, Marcus? I don't need a website. I have Facebook. I have Instagram. I have YouTube. I have all these other things that I have. Why in the world do I need a website? You ever go on Google and you search like Zappos for a pair of shoes? You go to Zappos website, then all of a sudden you go to Facebook. You're like, how'd they follow me? They followed you through your website, through special coding called the Facebook Pixel. If somebody does your Facebook marketing for you, your social media marketing, the first thing you have to ask them is, do I have my Pixel set up? I guarantee you 9 out of 10 agencies, people do not set up the Pixel. There's no way to track retargeting. This is not part of my speech today, but you have to be retargeting people that are going to your website, to your Facebook, and to your Instagram. Super important. I'm shocked with how many agencies are not doing this. So let's jump right into marketing. All right, when we look at this picture, what do we think? So the dog food industry is $24 billion strong. We spend $24 billion on dog food. Those dogs have zero say in what they're getting. Zero say. The owner who buys the dog food will never eat that dog food. Right? Major disconnect of product and buyer. What are people buying when they're buying dog food? What is the owner buying? He's buying a good feeling. She's buying an emotion. She's buying what feels good to that person. And we're going to talk about how to make your guests, your clients, your potential customers have a good feeling today. When you can pretend you're in the dog food industry, when you're marketing, then the light bulb is going to click and say, oh, wow. So anybody know Charlie Munger? A lot of you do, I'm sure. There's no reason not to. Charlie Munger's cognitive bias is to control your life. So Charlie Munger came up with 25 biases that trick the brain. These are why people buy or don't buy. And this happens in split seconds. 3 to 7 seconds online, 1/10 of a second in person. The brain is easily tricked into making a decision. The brain loves saving energy and takes shortcuts at every opportunity. Your brain is lazy. This goes back to the primitive ages. How does your brain conserve energy? Your brain consumes a lot of energy, takes a lot of energy to run. Just sitting there, your brain is on overload. So your brain at every moment wants to take a shortcut. We can't control it at all. It just happens. That's the way we're wired. That's the way we've always been wired. So Munger came up with these great 25 biases of buying. I narrowed those down into the 5 top ones that I feel are necessary for the restaurant and food industry. Really, any industry can focus on these. And in my book, I talk about a lot of things for every industry. And my book is specifically written for restaurants, but the stuff carries over. So, the number one reason people buy is from the reward bias. What is the reward? Your dog, what's the reward? A good feeling? Is it grass-fed? Is it vegan? Is it grain-free? Is it your pocketbook? Am I saving money? There's some kind of reward for you when you buy dog food. It just happens, okay? So now, the reward, the power that gives you incentives to take action. Munger says this should be obvious, but so many people don't understand on how important incentives are for shaping people's motivation to complete a task or action. Again, what is in it for your guest? What is your guest getting out of the experience? Here's a friend's website. This pops up right on his website as soon as you log on. Earn points, get free food. This is why Groupon is so successful. People get free stuff, right? That's a major reward. People get free stuff. So this pops up, sign up now. A simple thing like this, actually when I get to one of my coaching students, we'll talk about how his increased sales were. Right here, one of my current coaching clients, he put this on his website literally 3 weeks ago. 500% more increase on his email signups. People are taking action on this like crazy. He was shocked when I told him what to do on this. Want our famous crawfish mac and cheese for free with your next purchase? Sign up for our email list and we'll email you a coupon. You'll be surprised how many people give you their phone number, their home address, everything shy of their social security card if they're getting free food almost, is what it's like. People are like, free food, I'm there. But now what if some of your clients don't want free food? Because free food doesn't motivate me, right? Maybe some others doesn't motivate. I mean, I'll take a free appetizer, don't get me wrong. If I'm sitting here at a restaurant, you give me a free appetizer, I'm not gonna say no. But for me, I want a nice glass of wine, right? I want an experience, I want a nice glass of wine. So when I go on, I'm allowed to say the Y word, Yelp? When I go on Yelp, wine bar, show me the wine bar. I want a good glass of wine, right? For a lot of people, the incentive or the reward is being eco-friendly, having a bigger part in nature, Mother Earth, Mother Nature, being green, being organic, eating local, farm to table. That is a massive segment right there. If you don't believe me, go to the Green Restaurant Association and talk to Ben. I saw Ben standing here somewhere. This is a major motivating force for people. Who's heard of Charity Water? Great organization. They're going to donate, I don't think, $1 billion to build water wells for people in Asia and Central America and stuff like that. He says the day they stopped giving away incentives for donations, their donations went up. People want to be part of something big. People want to have, that's what emotion-based is. It did help, I did that, I did this. Tendency number 2, the liking or loving tendency. How likable are you? Like I said, in person, when you sit at the bar, you know in a tenth of a second if you and that bartender are getting along. It's just the facts. It happens. It happened to us in Nashville 2 weeks ago at a conference. I said, get me out of the bar, where else am I going? Okay, let's say you don't know who this is. Let's just pretend you've never seen Gordon Ramsay before. If you logged onto his website and you saw that picture, likable? Not at all. That picture? Likable guy, right? He's a likable guy. Gordon Ramsay explains why he won't let his kids sit with him in first class while traveling. No more likability, right? The neat thing is, if you like Gordon Ramsay, you don't care what he does. You don't care if his kids don't take the same plane as him. You're still going to like him because your mind is tricking you into liking somebody. It's why we vote for certain political platforms. We know we're voting for the lesser of the two evils, but we still vote and we still put we still say, I'm supporting this person because we have a bias. So it doesn't matter what Gordon Ramsay does. If you like him to begin with, you don't care what he's going to do with his kids, right? As long as it's legal, you don't care what he's doing with his kids. It has no bearing on your decision of his likability. This is a family from Lima, Ohio. This is right on their website. As soon as you log on to their website, that's Pete and Bridget and their family. They have 500 seats or something, some large restaurant. You can't tell me you won't support that family. 4 teenagers, good Midwestern family, Ohio. Right on. Hi, we're the Williams family, and we want to welcome you to the old barn out back. We're very proud of our restaurant and committed to providing you with the best possible food and service. Every time I talk to them, they tell me how fantastic business is, how wonderful business is, how their business keeps growing. I've known them since 2008 when I first met them. So are you likable? Are you a likable person? A lot of you think if I'm not visible, I don't have to worry about this. I'm not visible, I don't have to worry about this, Marcus. Again, raise your hands. How many of you are independent restaurant owners here? Independents, raise your hands. Right? A lot of independents. Again, people like you within a tenth of a second in person, 3 to 7 seconds online. The person who's wearing this ring better like you to book her wedding at your venue. $20,000 on the line right here when this person walks in with this ring who's looking to book a wedding. If they don't see you on their website, they don't see you on your website, looking at them, touting other things that we're going to talk about now, you're going to lose her. Because you know why you're going to lose her? Because somebody else is going to do that. And she's going to surf to the next website, the next platform. And she's going to feel much better spending $20,000 with somebody who's looking at her that she can relate to. Pete and Bridget Williams, I'm sure she has no problem giving her money to them. Here's a good one, social proof tendency. Social proof, a term coined by Robert Cialdini in his 1984 book, Influence. Who's read Influence? Highly recommended. I just spoke to a lady a couple rows over that's reading it now. And she's like, oh my gosh, Marcus, this book's amazing. It describes a psychological and social phenomenon wherein people copy the actions of others. Copy the actions of others in an attempt to undertake behavior in a given situation. Who's been to Rome? Do as the Romans, right? When in Rome, do as the Romans. True story, 1997, my wife's back there. We get on the bus. People told us, oh, you're in Rome? Don't pay for the bus. We're like, no, we're paying for the bus. We're going to get on the bus. I'm not getting in trouble. I'm not getting arrested when I'm in Italy. We're paying for the bus. We get on the bus. Everybody walks in and nobody pays for the bus. I'm fumbling for my change, and guess what we do? Walk right past the thing and not pay for the bus and sit down and shut up. Just happened. It happened that quick. When in Rome, do as the Romans. Had a conversation at business conference a few weeks ago. 10X. Any 10Xers out here? Grant Cardone, 10X. Went to GrowthCon 10X for the second time in Florida. 35,000 people in the stadium. Amazing conference. I'm talking to a guy from Wisconsin, and I'm talking about this kind of stuff with him. He's like, Marcus, that doesn't apply to me. And I said, well, what kind of food do you like? He goes, I like barbecue food. No problem. I was like, let's look. He goes, I know. Marcus, believe me. We look online. I said, Scott, where are you going? A 4 or 5 star or the 1 star? He goes, I'm going to the 5 star. I go, point proven. You decided in a tenth of a second, a half of a second where you're going based upon where other people are going. Based upon all those other reviews that you're seeing is where you're going. You're not even looking at the 2nd star restaurant. You're not looking on the bottom of the list. So he goes, Marcus, this was an eye-opener. He goes, I had no idea I was doing this. And I said, not only are you doing it, but your guests are doing it. The people who are giving you money or not giving you money are doing this exact same thing. This is one of my really pet peeves. A lot of us pay money to a web designer, and they put up beautiful pictures of our restaurant. We have a lot of beautiful restaurants. And they put up these and you put Photoshop now and the picture even looks better. If you extract those pictures and hand them to somebody, do they think you're a furniture store or a restaurant? Those are great bar stools. How much are they? On sale for $89? Oh, look at that couch next to the fireplace. That's great. No empty pictures on your website. You're not a furniture store, you're a restaurant. What are you selling? Emotions. Feel good. The lady who's wearing that ring is probably not going to want to go there for her wedding. She wants to go where the action is, where it's fun, where she can live in the moment of what's going on and feel it. Take a combination of that and the picture before, different angle, it's a home run. This is from my actual website, by the way. This is my restaurant website. Social proof. What others are doing. The best way for social proof is testimonials. Testimonials are massive because they don't know who the other person is, but they're going to listen to them regardless. Again, the brain, it's lazy. We don't want to know who the other person is. We just want to know the other person had a good time. That's all we want to know. So we have some Yelp reviews, some TripAdvisor, and I think some Facebook up there, right on our homepage. Notice, this is on my home page. This isn't on a link. I'm not making them do work. It's not some kind of scavenger hunt. Where's the Marcus's testimonials? Marcus's testimonials to Aroma Time are on my home page, my front page. It's not a scavenger hunt. Okay, a lot of you go, I have testimonials. You remember, 3 to 7 seconds, you lose them. They're not clicking a link. If they're gone in 3 to 7 seconds, there's no time to click a link. Now, what happens if you can quantify over 500 5-star reviews? I went online and counted one day. I had somebody count. We have over 500. Now, not only do I put my 5-star reviews, but now we have over 500. Now people are saying, wow, not only did Lisa and Jim and Bob and Melissa and Kristen have a good time, but 500 other people had a 5-star experience. More numbers. This is on my coaching site. 30 plus years in the restaurant industry. 75,000 YouTube subscribers. 17 million YouTube views. Numbers are powerful. Numbers are super powerful. Does anybody know the reason why numbers work? Because people lie, numbers don't. People lie, numbers don't. It doesn't matter if you're a 2-star restaurant, if you're 3 stars, extract your 5-star reviews, pop them on your homepage. Anybody from Yelp around? Okay, go take your hidden 5-star reviews on Yelp, snapshot them and upload them as photos. So when people go to your Yelp reviews, you have photos as 5-star reviews. Little hack. Billions and billions served. McDonald's knows what they're doing. Right there, social proof. I remember as a little kid seeing those signs. Millions and millions served, billions and billions served. Authority bias. Authority bias is a tendency to attribute greater accuracy to the opinion of an authority figure, even unrelated to its content. Even unrelated to its content. And be more influenced by that opinion. I told you I was a food activist, my first love. I do this speech, I go to gyms, I go to sneaker stores, health stores. I talk about all kinds of organic and farm to table, 12 worst fish to eat and what to eat instead. The first time I did this speech after my book was published, I only brought like 3 books because like I'm doing a seafood talk, and I wrote a business book. Like, why would I sell a business book? People lined up for my business book, and I'm scratching my head. This is before I knew about this psychology stuff. I'm like, why are people buying my business book? You just heard me talk about salmon and shrimp. And somebody said, Marcus, I don't care what you have. I'm here to buy whatever you have. You just gave a great speech. Even unrelated to its content. So I'm like, holy cow. So I sell a lot of books at a fish talk on business to people who aren't business owners. It's amazing. Remember, the brain is lazy, and the brain will make decisions based upon, in this case, authority bias. Are you somebody that's influential? Are you somebody that's respectable? 50mistakes.com, you can get the book for free. Pay a couple bucks for shipping and handling, write that down, 50mistakes.com. The book is 50 Mistakes That Business Owners Make. By the way, my marketing blog is named Top 15 Marketing Blogs from FeedSpot, right next to Nation's Restaurant News and a couple other big ones. Just throwing that authority bias out there on you. So, a lot of you have been featured in things. Take advantage of that, what you've been featured in. People love to walk into a restaurant, go on a website, and say, that chef's been there. He's been on that. They don't even care if it's a local newspaper. Went back to my client from that mac and cheese. Best mac and cheese by like the Star Telegraph. We have no idea what the Star Telegraph is, but we don't care because they said it's the best mac and cheese. That's all you have to do. This happened to me last week. We were walking on Friday in Manhattan here. I'm on Yelp looking for a restaurant. I'm on Yelp looking for a wine bar. The wine bars aren't close. I'm like, it's cold. I don't want to walk an eighth of a mile, half a mile. As we're walking, peripheral vision caught the Michelin Guide recommended, Chinese restaurant. Without hesitation, I stopped and I walked in the door without even looking at the menu. It was an okay meal. I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't complain on the meal. Authority bias in my peripheral vision grabbed me in like that. I was looking for something else. And I know this stuff, right? I know this stuff, I teach it, and it gets me. Influence from mere association. By the way, who thinks they have a good website? You want to throw their website up after this and we'll critique it? Who's up for getting their website critiqued? All right, cool, awesome. Influence from mere association. We can easily manipulate it by mere association. It can be a group of people, the quality of product, advertising, etc. That's why brands use famous people. Big brands figure this out. Endorsements. My second mentor, a chef, he was helping me pick the next place to work. And I was going to go to Europe and work in a Michelin 3-star, what I did. And he said, Marcus, it doesn't matter what you do in that operation. If you're working for, at the time, Marco Pierre White, Pierre Kaufman, the Rubra, whoever it was at the time, it was big back then. It doesn't matter what you did there. Nobody's ever going to ask you what you did. You put that on your resume and the association is there. I was like, this guy's crazy. Sure enough, I mean, I didn't do dishes, but I worked a station at La Tante Claire for Pierre Kaufman. Nobody ever asked what I did. They saw it on my resume and they were like throwing me job offers. Just from the association of being there. I go to a lot of restaurants and they show pictures of the owner with famous people, or the owner partners up with a famous person. And a lot of times you're like, oh, Dan Marino invested in that restaurant? Well, of course it's good, right? When I was, 9 years old, 10, 12 years old, I tried to figure out how to get $100 to buy these. I was determined to buy these. So my parents thought spending $100 on sneakers back in the early 80s was ridiculous. I was like, how am I going to get these? I want to play basketball. I thought I needed those to play basketball at 9 years old. Okay, back to, he's not showing up, by the way. Mickey Mantle's not showing up there. It's impossible, right? But this mere association with the restaurant makes it a success or gives it a better opportunity to be a success. Do you know that 10% of your product, if you have a quality product, only 10% of the people that buy that are coming for the quality product. That's it. The other 90% of people are getting persuaded by their lazy brain and your delivery format. How are you getting to them? We see on average 2,000 to 7,000 advertisements a day. Today you're going to well see your 7,000. Driving down the road, a tow truck next to you, a big sign for a restaurant, There's messages everywhere. 2,000 to 7,000 times a day, you're getting bombarded with somebody's message. What's going to make your message different? These are great. Who's ever stayed at a hotel with the presidential suite? Roosevelt slept here, Kennedy slept here, Nixon slept here. I think every famous hotel out there has a presidential suite, right? And you say, oh, I stayed in. How many times have you heard somebody say, oh, I stayed in the presidential suite, right? Boom. So out of these 5 elements, where else does this work? The real question is, where doesn't it work? It works on every interaction, in person, online, print, on print. You have this in front of you for a special VIP tonight. All right, there's something special on here. This limited. I'm offering you scarcity. You can only take a certain amount of people in. Scarcity bias is huge. If people think there's not enough, they will buy it. Just happens. Again, there's 25 biases of buying. These are the top 5 which I feel are super important for the restaurant industry, but this stuff works everywhere. Somebody recently asked me, well, Marcus, what should I put on my business card? I said the same thing that's on your website. Let's start looking at your website and make sure we have these 5 things covered. And I'm surprised because a lot of my friends and clients, coaching clients, students, they're like, Marcus, I paid $150 a month for this website and they charged me $3,000. My website's fine. And once we look at it, they're like, I don't understand why they didn't do that for me. Marketing is psychology. Marketing is psychology. Marketing creates an emotion. So there again, what you do, by the way, I'm giving away this GoPro tonight at the event. In case you don't do videos for your business, Google says by 2020, video is going to be basically it. This right here will capture amazing videos for your business. The chef's cooking, things going on, really cool stuff. I'm giving this away tonight. If you have an iPhone, open your camera up. All you have to do is open your camera, and it's going to pop a link up top. You click that link, it goes to, who does messenger bots? Messenger bots? Messenger bots are crushing it right now. Insane, the rate on messenger bots, open rates, return rates. So you'll get into my bot, and at 5 o'clock, you'll get the address to the secret location. It's only blocks from here, but you'll get the address. If you have an Android, you have to have a QR download, a QR code reader, download the app, scan it. When you're in my bot, hit get started. 5 o'clock, that broadcast will go out to where the party is. So we're giving out free food tonight. It's at a great place. They got a great bar there. There's a lot of other great food there. I'd love to see a lot of you there. Again, time's running out, and we're closing in on that nat. All right, so who wants to, we have a couple minutes, we have 10 minutes. Who wants to throw their website up? Jamie, do you want to get somebody's website? Okay. Jamie's going to get a website and come and type it in. 28 of you already scanned that. Hootwire. Hoot Owl. Oh, you have to connect.
Is your phone on?
Yeah.
Did it not connect?
We were connected before. We're trying to find my Wi-Fi.
I'm turning it back on. Just go back to it. There you go. You had to reconnect it.
right, this is where it gets fun. This is where it really gets fun. Yeah, it's connected. We were on before, the technology for you, right?
What are the five? You mentioned five, but you just clearly enumerate them.
Social. I'm sorry. The first bias is reward. All right, cool. Hoot Owl Restaurant. Good food, good people. Do I know they're good people? I don't see them. I don't know they're good people. I see some food. I don't know they're good people. Has anybody else gone here that I can see? Hoot Owl, where are you? They're our neighbors. Where's your 5-star reviews? People. All right, so the first one is the reward bias. What's in it for me? If you go to that website, what's in it for you? Good food, I hope. Good food, I hope, right? Are other people telling me it's good? So there's no association bias. There's no reward bias. There's no social proof, right? So, besides colors and stuff like that, it's a clean website. But as far as the biases of what we're talking about, your Facebook pixel's not connected. Yeah, you do Facebook marketing? You put ad money on Facebook? It's not connected. Facebook's not connected to your website. We'll talk about it. All right, next website. Jamie has one, okay. This is simple stuff, by the way, folks. But like, we're never taught this kind of stuff. And the people that we pay to do our websites don't know this kind of stuff, or if they're like keeping it a secret from us. Juice and Bull Bar, blended with aloe. Okay, if you know what aloe is and the benefits of aloe, if you have an upset stomach, that's a... Aloha. Oh, I thought it said aloe. My stomach hurts, I need some aloe juice. Okay. Reboot your body and mind. Reboot your body and mind, so it looks like, so I have to enter the site or sign up? Okay, so 3 to 7 seconds to get somebody's attention. Don't make them do work. Do not make them do work unless there's a reward. If you have the right reward, they will give you literally shy of their social security number. When you do a survey online, never ask them for their name first, never ask them for their email first, never ask them for their address first. Get them in the pattern of answering questions. What's your favorite food? Do you have a pet? Simple questions, then hit them with the harder questions. But for here, enter site.
Food website, shouldn't I be attracted to the food? Like, shouldn't the food, the picture?
You should be attracted to food. Should you be attracted to food on the food side? 100% you should be attracted to food. Absolutely. That's another. All right, so if like my father would get on this site, he'd have no idea how to enter. If he's on his phone, he'd have no idea what to press. My father cannot subscribe to a YouTube channel. And it's one button subscribe right there. He can't do it. Another site?
She has a landing page. You want me to go to the landing page?
You want a landing page, yeah.
I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about landing pages? Just
Landing pages or a funnel? What are you doing on the landing page?
It's just jars of delight. It's just jars of delight.
That's Jars of Delight. That's the email. So
Well, it's to collect emails, really, to like build my email.
to collect emails,
Yeah.
that's powerful. You need to collect emails.
Yeah.
What's your number one asset in the restaurant business, folks? Number one asset. Who knows it? What is it? What is it? Food. Database. Database is your number one asset. When you sell your restaurant and the new buyer says, oh great, I'm paying for Blue Sky, and you hand them a list and say, here's 20,000 email subscribers, I have their addresses, and I have their birthdays, your price just went up. If they don't want to pay you the price you want, you take that 20,000 people with you, you wait for your do not compete clause in, and you open up 5 miles down the road with 20,000 people that trust you, and that will eat with you again, and you have their birthdays. What's the number one reason people go out to eat? Birthdays. I get a 34-to-1 return on birthdays. For every dollar I spend on a promotion for birthdays, I get back $34. My lifetime value of a guest is $6,800 over 5 years. If you're not tracking those numbers, your marketing is not that effective. We just did a whole new Facebook bot promotion with people that have rotating 7-day birthdays. 65 cent opt-in right now. I'm adding 30 people a day in a small town to my bot, to my email list on Messenger. 30 people a day in a town of 4,500 people. At a 65 cents opt-in rate, I have a $6,800 lifetime value of a guest in 5 years. I would pay $250 if I knew they were going to spend $6,800 in 5 years. 65 cents, number one reason people go out is their birthdays. Well, it's almost time for us then. We have 3 minutes. Beautiful pictures.
Roma Espresso Bar. What's the name?
Great looking pictures. Again, what are we missing? People. What do other people think about this? Is this an independent operation?
No, it's a chain.
Franchise. Okay, so in a franchise, it's hard to put everybody, your picture, right? Okay, so what do other people think? So how long have you been in business? How many? 12 years. That's a strong number, since most restaurants fail in 5 or 3 or 1. 12 years of experience. That should be on there. Founded in, since, whatever, 12 years, strong number. Any way you can manipulate a number to work for you as long as it's the truth, do it. If you've been in business 30 years, put that on your website. People will trust you since you've been in business 30 years as opposed to 3 months. If you've been in business 3 months, you have to be more creative. But I talk to people all the time, 30 years I've been doing this. Like, I wouldn't know that. And if you were catering a wedding and that woman walks in who just got engaged, she wants to know you've been doing it for 30 years. That's about 10 years. She wants to know you've been doing it for 10 years. That's gonna easily sway her to think like, that person's doing it right. That restaurant must be doing it right to be doing that for 10 years. So I'm about out of time, folks. But we can carry this conversation on at 6 o'clock with some free food.
Fill that out and show that again, and then you can take questions.
Okay, and I'll be happy to take questions. Where are the questions at, Jay? Oh, in the back, in the Restaurant Association. By the way, I'm speaking in the Restaurant Association the 29th, 30th, and the 1st, April and May, 3-day tour, New York City, Albany, and Rochester. 3-hour, in-depth stuff like this, workshop. I don't have the information on how you sign up. They do, and I'm not sure even they have it yet. But 3 days with the Restaurant Association, New York City, Albany, Rochester. Don't forget to fill this out. Okay. And scan, I'll be right around the corner. I'd love to have this conversation on, and I would love for you to come and network with me tonight. Need one of these?